Hello children, welcome to the YouTube channel Guru of Social. Today's our topic is about landforms, lesson 3 of class 6. Let us get into the introduction. Children, when I ask you the question, what is your native place or where you are living? Generally, what could you say? Yes, we are living in so and so place or so and so capital city or so and so state or district. Immediately, I may ask you a question. What is the relief feature of your region where you are surviving? Immediately, what could be the answer? Let us take the options like, Madam, we are having good stretches of mountain. We are having good stretches of hills. We are having stretches of plateaus. Mostly, we are living in the plain regions. So, these many really features of your region, you are starting to list out one by one. So, what do you call all these? Yes, relief features of the land. What do you mean by relief here? The land is raising its height to certain levels and falling down with the factor of slope and remained. So that elevations may not be again same in all the regions. In some regions the elevations are high. In some regions the elevations are little bit low. In some regions, they are completely flat lands with some gentle slopes of little raised elevations. So these many variations when you are finding, this can be defined as relief of a region. So this relief of a region we are going to study in a detailed way with the concept landforms. So let us get into the landforms. In geology we can define actually the elevation of land to a certain heights or the high elevations and low elevations of the land can be defined as relief. So let us get into the relief features of the region with the concept landforms. So how many types of landforms we are having? Majorly landforms are classified into 3. So what are they? Let us look into it. Number 1. Yes, you can take mountains. Number 2. Plateaus. Number 3. Plains. Let us have the discussion of this. Number 1. What you are telling? Mountains. So if I ask the children to draw the mountains, how you will draw? Yes. Now the elevations or the land rises you can observe are very high. First thing, elevation point. You have to consider the elevation or land rising. When you focus on the first point regarding the mountains, what should be the factor here to be considered about the elevation? How the land is rising? Yes, it is high. The elevations are high. And the second thing, immediately when you are thinking about the rising condition of the land are very high, what you have witnessed here. So immediately you have to consider about the fall also immediately. Rise is considered. What is opposite to the rise? Fall. Yes. So this you can consider it as what? Slopes. Now second thing, slopes. Now the slopes are very deep. Deep slopes or another word term you can use steep slopes. Are you clear? And the third point, very important, how the raised elevations are being projected here. Sharp edges. How the edges are? Sharp with the pointed tops. Pointed tops. How the edges are? Very sharp. How the tops are? Pointed. So now here itself, you can consider these three terms as key points. So here, mountains, how to define? The elevations of the land are high with steep or deep slopes and the tops are pointed. Are you clear? See, with the three key terms or the keywords, we are defining the mountains here along with the diagram. What you are defining? Land rises are high with steep or deep slopes and the tops are projected pointed or with the sharp edges. Have you got the definition of the mountains here? So what might be the mountains? The examples you can give? Yes, Himalayas. What are the examples? Himalayas. Yes, Vindhya, Arvali, Satpura, etc. So these are the examples of the mountains which we are having in our country, India. Now next we shall go for the plateaus. Before going to the plateaus, here we have given the diagram regarding the mountains. Let us consider the high elevations or the raised lands, but not with the sharp or pointed tops. Here, a little flat lands we can see, little flat. How the lands are flat here? Very little. So this kind of land elevations can be considered as hills. So most of our Telangana state, when we consider, what we have to go with the factor here? Yes, the elevations are high, but not as mountains. Why? Because we cannot expect the edges or tops are ended with a point or sharp. They are little bit flat and having some gentle slopes, not very steep. They are not very steep. So, elevations of the land with gentle slopes where the human life is possible, with flat lands of little projections. So this kind of elevations we can see in our Telangana district. Yes, you can take the example of Adilabad, Nirmal, Bhadradri. Best example, Papikondalu in Bhadradri district. Yes. So these are to be defined about hills. Now coming to the plateaus. Our Telangana region is also distributed with the plateaus. How to define the plateaus? The elevations of land to a certain heights with the flat surfaces and slopes are also gentle. Lands are elevated. Lands are raised to a certain heights because here the elevations to be considered as low elevations. Very good. Just like mountains, we can consider the first factor as elevations. How the elevations are here? Low. And what about the slopes? Gentle. What about the top? They are flattened. Flattened or flatlands, you can see. So here, low elevations are raising of lands with low heights, having the gentle slope with the flat surfaces at the top. So this we can define as plateaus. Example, Deccan Plateau in South India. See, I can show you here, children. Yes. What is the shape of Deccan Plateau? I have tried to project here in triangle shape. And here, the highest elevation point or origination we can take actually of the Deccan Plateau, raising from west direction and sloping towards the east and forming a triangular shape. So maximum portions of our Telangana, nearly 80 to 90% of our Telangana district fall into the Deccan Plateau. Is it clear? Next about the plains. How you can define? They are completely, the elevations we cannot expect here anything. They are not high, they are not low, they are flat leveled areas. They are flat leveled areas or regions. And these plains are mostly forming naturally with the flow of great rivers which are even carrying the heavy deposition of silt along with the combination of humus and even forming the deltas also. Because of these plains and the great rivers flow, we are expecting even deltas also to be formed. So plains are flat leveled areas, and how these plains are formed majorly means mostly with the perennial rivers. What do you mean by perennial rivers here? The rivers which are flowing throughout the year. The great rivers like Ganga, the great rivers like Krishna, Godavari, these are called as perennial rivers, the rivers which flow throughout the year. So because of these great rivers flow throughout the year, carrying the heavy deposits of silt with a combination of humus. Silt is nothing but the fine soil which will be carried along with the flow of the perennial rivers, and the humus are nothing but the combination of the decayed materials of the dead animals, dead plants, etc. will also form the delta regions among the plains. Are you clear? So we can take here the Punjab as the plain example, where the river Indus with its tributaries. That's why Punjab is called as land of 5 rivers. Okay, Punjab plains and Gangetic plains and plains in Andhra Pradesh, east coastal plains and west coastal plains. These are the examples of the plains. In the same way, what we discussed here actually, plains. How these plains are formed? Naturally with the great rivers. So in this process, we have discussed that these great rivers are carrying some amount or a great amount to deposit the silt and humus among the coastal plains, and before the joining of these great rivers into the seas. For example, if you are taking here river Godavari and Krishna, these two great rivers in South India are forming two great delta regions in the east coastal plains. Let us see into that. In Maharashtra state, if you see, yes, the origination of river Godavari and origination of river Krishna. So, the birthplace, what do you mean by origination here? The birthplace of river Godavari, Nasik. Nasik, and the birthplace of river Krishna, Mahabaleshwar. So, the birthplaces of these two rivers which are flowing from Western Ghats, they move through the Deccan Plateau and enters the Telangana state. When you consider Telangana state, these are the two main rivers which are entering into the Telangana state. When you consider river Godavari near Basara, it enters near Basara, and coming to the river Krishna, it enters in constituency Matkal of Mehboob Nagar district of Krishna Mandal and flows and empty itself into the Bay of Bengal. Before emptying these great rivers into the Bay of Bengal, they are forming a triangular shaped regions. Have you observed here? Yes. So, the main river generally, when they are flowing from certain heights, moving towards the east direction. Are you observing here, children? We are thinking that these are the high elevated regions and these are the plateau regions, and at the end the plains. So here we are having the mountain regions, here we are having plateaus, and here we are having plains. You just observe it. Depending on the relief feature of these regions in South India, The rivers, when they are moving or originating from certain heights and before emptying them into the oceans, the base of the slope or relief region, the plains, they are dividing them into the small branches or streams, which you even can term as tributaries. What they are doing, they are forming the delta regions in triangular shape. These delta regions are with heavy deposit of silt and as well as humus. So this can be maintained with the perennial rivers throughout the year like Godavari and Krishna, which is possible. Are you clear of this, everyone? Are you observing, children? I tried to show you here Indian physical map. Yes. So here, are you observing? I used some 3 color concepts so that you can have a clarity, because as this is the theme about landforms, children, I tried to show Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, the high elevated regions in both the directions of southern parts of our country, India. And again, I tried to show the plains with the green color as west coastal plains and east coastal plains. Okay. And even I tried to show you the delta regions which are forming in triangular shape with the black color of rivers like Godavari and Krishna. And here in the middle, I tried to show you and projected the Deccan Plateau, which is a high elevated region from the Western Ghats in the west direction and sloping towards the east. And this Deccan Plateau is defined very clearly to you. And then after again, I have given you the origination or the birthplaces of 2 rivers of Maharashtra state. One is about the Godavari river of Nasik and another is about the Krishna river of Mahabaleshwar. And even when they are trying to enter Telangana state, there also I tried to give the projection of the river entering into the Telangana state of Nirmal district near Basara, and again river Krishna also in the same way, Matkal, the constituency of Mahbub Nagar of Krishna Mandal. Is it clear to you, children? The projection is very clear regarding the landforms. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.